Today's story is called Robin Hood. Robin Hood and his band of merry outlaws lived in Sherwood Forest, where they robbed from the rich and gave to the poor. The rich men of nearby Nottingham feared Robin Hood. Travelling through Sherwood Forest, they might find themselves suddenly surrounded by outlaws dressed in green, with bows drawn and arrows aimed. Since Robin and his men were the best marksmen in the land, the travellers dared not put up a fight. They handed over their money, which the outlaws divided amongst the poor. One May day, as the wild roses filled the warm air with their fragrance, Robin Hood walked through the green woods. He came to a narrow log bridge that crossed a rushing stream just at the same moment that another fellow reached the bridge on the other side. Both wished to cross first. Even though the other man was 7 feet tall, Robin was not afraid. They began to fight with staves cut from green oak trees. Soon Robin gave the other fellow such a crack on the head that blood appeared, but the stranger gave Robin a worse blow, knocking him into the stream. Robin waded out, put his horn to his lips and blew a loud blast. Suddenly his men were all around him. "What ails thee, master?" they said. "You seem to be wet to the skin. We will give this villain a good ducking, never fear." Robin laughed and said, "No, let him go, for he is a brave fellow." Then to the stranger he said, "I am Robin Hood." "My name is John," said the huge man. "Well, Little John," said Robin merrily, "if you will wear green with us and join our band, I welcome you." John agreed, and so it was that he came to be known as Little John, one of the strongest and bravest of Robin Hood's men. Amongst Robin's men was a fine singer named Allen a Dale. He was sad because his true love, Fair Ellen, could not marry him. Her father insisted that she marry rich old Sir Stephen instead, a man whom she did not love at all. Vowing to bring Allen and Ellen together, Robin Hood asked for help from a jolly priest named Friar Tuck. Together they went to the church where Ellen was to marry Sir Stephen. The bishop began the wedding ceremony. "Stop the wedding," shouted Robin Hood, "for it is shameful to marry a maid against her will." Fair Ellen's father, Sir Stephen, and the bishop were amazed to see the men in green suddenly all around. But Ellen smiled to see Allen amongst them. "Your daughter wishes to marry Allen a Dale," said Robin Hood. "Will you give them your blessing?" The father frowned, then spoke Sir Stephen. "Though I love Ellen with all of my heart, I will not force her to marry me. Please give her your blessing to marry this young man." Seeing his plan had failed, her father at last agreed, but the bishop refused to marry them. Friar Tuck stepped in. "Here is a priest to help you," he said. He pronounced them husband and wife. Then he rang the bell to tell the whole countryside that the true lovers were together at last. Robin Hood, Little John, and the other outlaws had many adventures. Sometimes they rescued innocent men from the hangman's noose. Sometimes they traveled to the king's court in disguise to compete in archery contests, where they shot their arrows the straightest and won all the prizes. By the time the king realized who the winners were, they had all escaped safely into Sherwood Forest. Neither the king nor the sheriff could ever catch Robin Hood for long, for either Robin outsmarted them or his men came to his rescue. Robin Hood became so famous that the old songs about him are still sung today.